All right, so Abzan Rally, Abzan Company, whatever you want to call it. We've got Viscera Seer as a sacrifice outlet. Then we have Zulaport Cutthroat, Blood Artist, along with a plethora of creatures here that we rally the ancestors into play from our discard pile, and then sacrifice a bunch of stuff to drain our opponents out. So we've got Collected Company and some cantrip creatures to kind of loop through our deck and see how this goes. Thanks so much for the good content, Barty. Thanks for the 18 months. I appreciate it. Thanks for the tier 2 resub. Remember, my tier 2 subs can bump something in the queue, so let me know what you'd like to move up there. What's going on, right, Cat? Yes, there's no infinite combo in this deck. It's just a large damage combo. You should play Elves if you want an easy day just beating people up. You should play Amulet Titan if you want to play a good deck that has a lot of decisions in it. You should play Jund if you want your stomach to be filled with a pit of regret. Oh, Jeff Hoagland, you're a lucky little boy. What's going on, Python? Thanks for the 17 months. Welcome back. Sand is great. It's got a Mana Dork and a Collected Company. We get to pretend to be Elves for a hot second. Sure, Mage, go ahead. You'd also just add it as a quote, Mage. Just add it as an actual quote. You heard this was a rally good deck. You heard correctly, obviously. We only play rally good decks on this stream. I'm hankering for some regret. Then you do you. Listen, if you're someone who thinks to themselves, you know what sounds like a good time playing Jund or playing Jeskai in Modern, don't let other people discourage you. Follow your heart. Man, playing against Alex Bertoncini over here. Ducks, thanks for the 4-month resub. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Thanks for the third of a year. Attack for 1. Dead to Scapeshift. You should build Grixis Shadow if you want to be a little bit interactive. You should build KCI if you just want to linear people. They always have more lands. Are you new, Burgle? They always have more lands. Come on now. Is this your first... Sir, is this your first time playing Modern? Of course they have more lands. Don't let your memes be dreams. Nox and Cross, thank you for the 13 months. Welcome back. I appreciate it. Yeah, 8 land. For people who aren't familiar with Scapeshift math, Scapeshift on 7 lands does 18 damage, and Scapeshift on 8 lands does 36. Stitcher Supplier. Just as disappointing in Modern as it is in Standard. It's milled over 3 non-creatures. Lol. He's trying his best, okay? Poor little supplier. Hey, we might have a turn 4 kill on the play here, Burgle. Could you not insult my deck list, okay? We're gonna race them here. Finals are done. Congrats. Enjoy your time off. Oh, you know what? I should company in response to the Sakura Tribe Elder because I could hit a thing that makes them lose life. Instead, I did not. Instead, I found sadness. That was not the double Blood Artist I wanted for Christmas. So if we had double Blood Artist there, we could have killed them. Don't engage, Holy Flab. Don't engage. Alright, so this is land number 6. So if they have a ramp spell plus escape shift again next turn, we are dead. If they don't, we could be in an okay spot. You get to gain a bunch of life and scry. Yeah, so I can beat a 7 land shift. So they have land ramp spell shift like last game. We die, Burgle. Grapple. Thank you for the 4-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for the support. Here we go again. Should have known again. No, stop it. I held control. All right. I actually want to scry. Do I want to scry in response to this? No, I want this to go because I need to try and find a white source, right? I want to stack a white source on top of my deck. I can save targets for this, right? Yeah, I can. Look at that. Look at that quality of life improvement. Thank you for making my life better, Magic Online. I take back most of the bad things I've ever said about you. Come on, where is my white source? There we go. There's my white source. Turn 5 kill through sweeper. Turn 5 kill through a sweeper. To me, my people need me. Rally to me. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm actually 1 short of lethal, but they also didn't realize that, so you know it's cool. No harm, no foul. No harm, no foul. I'm actually 1 short of lethal here. God bless opponents conceding when they're not dead today. Otherwise, we'd never win a match. All right, snap it off. The OP's ghosting and trusted you. This deck is worse, Zubrez. Yeah, right? It's definitely worse some things, but... Man, look at us, chat. We are just a bastion of spreadsheets in a sea of arena. Where's the next Magic Online stream? How far down do I have to scroll to find someone playing Magic Online? Oh, we got one. We got one. Sorry. I just occasionally look at what other people are streaming. Standard was ruined by Rally. Come on now. The one without a picture was also Magic Online. That's a good way to get people to come in. You don't put the picture of Magic Online up, and then once they get there, maybe they stay. You think MTGO and Arena should have separate game listings on Twitch? I do not. It's all Magic the Gathering. I think much for the same reason that we broadcast paper Magic tournaments in the same place we broadcast Magic Online, that Magic Arena and Magic Online should be in the same place. It's a good draw. Maybe. I should have attacked for 2 there. I clicked through it. So, I'm not even really scrying to anything very useful here because, I don't have any white mana, right? So, I need a rally, but, oh, I should have left that on top to put into my bin, actually. So, I need a rally, but I, also need white mana. So, I'm keeping rally or white mana here is what I'm keeping. Sure. And maybe at some point in the future I can draw white mana. Oh, they have a relic. Yeah, it just doesn't matter. We're very dead. Onward, upward, backward, forward. How are we doing, folks? Welcome. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I am here playing Magic 30, 40, 50 hours a week. If you enjoy my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. This deck and many of the decks that we play on the stream is a viewer-submitted deck list. So this was a viewer-submitted archetype. I started with a 5-0 rally list that posted a result in September, I think, and did some updates. If you enjoy my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are the people that keep me employed here full-time. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their very wonderful support. Past subscribing, you can also support my stuff by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. MTGOtraders.com. Love to buy and sell some Magic Online cards with you, and if you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. Neo makes wonderful candy-flavored protein bars. Using code Hoagland at bit.ly/HoogleBar. You can save 10% on your orders with them. CoolStuffInc.com. Buy and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, Warhammer, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. And of course, you might hear my shuffling deck here. My shuffling deck is protected by none other than my BCW Elite Guard sleeves. Using code Jeff10 at bcwsupplies.com, you can save 10% on your orders of sleeves, deck box, and all sorts of other wonderful gaming accessories there with them. Onward, upward, backward, forward. Lost a match to Valakut Titan, which I think is probably to be expected with a deck like this. The sideboard cards that we have access to in this archetype as far as fighting faster combo decks goes just tend to line up really poorly against Valakut Titan. We don't have access to anything like Alpine Moon or other things that hate on Valakut specifically. It's pretty easy mulligan. Yay, magic! Yay, magic! Alright, I guess I keep this. Slow and steady. I'm really... One of the things that more complete Magic data would make interesting, so like, this archetype actually 5-0'd a competitive league at one point, because it got published when I was looking at different rally deck lists to get ideas. So, the core of this got published from a 5-0 dump, and the thing that seeing a 5-0 dump doesn't tell us is how many times this archetype failed on its way to getting a 5-0. So, for instance, like, if you 0-5 a league, 0-5 a league, and then 5-0 a league, you're technically 5-10 with a deck, which is a terrible record, but you still got published in an undefeated deck list dump. It's one of those things you can learn from having more complete information. I mean, they kept a speculative hand and they've missed here. Look at that. Look at that. We hit time for my monthly personal timeout. Coma Cake, thank you very much for the 10-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Correct, yeah, it also doesn't show us what decks they played against either, right? Like, they could have played against decks that were just, like, completely unreasonable and piles of garbage. Reminds me when I 5-0'd a league with Rally after cutting all of the companies first to DC. That's really funny. Stream Decker looks good here. They ran into 5 straight Jund or other fair decks. You could easily inflate the data. Yeah, exactly. Just gonna go ahead and jump now. Jump early, jump often. If I draw a land, my Eternal Witness can pick up the fetch land, which gets me to 4. So maybe I can start companying and rallying and stuff like that to do things. Man, I'm not sure. There must be this person or group of people that keep making really obnoxious usernames and then coming in Twitch Prime subbing to me. Thanks for the money, dickheads, I guess. Like, I don't really know what to say. It takes 30 seconds to ban you. It takes 3 seconds to ban you, and I get 350. So, like, getting 350 for 3 seconds of work, that's a really good exchange rate for me. We are very dead. Yes, that was an instant permanent ban. It's $3,600 an hour, not bad. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's like the work of the future right there. Yeah, there was a really awkward deck registration error that decided the finals of the tournament yesterday. It's just incredibly awkward all around. Hopefully Arena gets tournaments integrated so stuff like that doesn't happen anymore. If only we got commissions for bans and timeouts. All I know is the optics on that whole issue are like really bad, because like if I was someone looking at a Magic tournament, like getting involved in it, and then like saw like the winner won on like this awkward technicality, it's just like, well, I'd be like, that seems kind of silly. Why would I want to play that? Niv with the tree fitty. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So you're saying a username isn't good, but you'll take their tree fitty. You should really fund them their 350. Nah, they ain't getting nothing back. They ain't getting nothing back, Niv. That is also bad for viewers, Grins. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm actually gonna give you a timeout because that's just garbage. What things we don't tolerate in this chat? Nonsense arguments, and nonsense arguments include whataboutism. What is whataboutism, you ask? Whataboutism is something that you've certainly experienced if you're an adult in today's world. It's when you point out something that doesn't make sense or is bad, and people go, well, what about this other thing over here? That's actually much worse. And it's like, well, yes, that thing can be worse, but this thing that we're actually talking about over here, the thing that you're trying to distract from with, hey, look, a distraction, is also bad. It just because one thing sucks more than something else doesn't mean that the initial thing that you were trying to address doesn't need to be addressed. That's the thing. It's something that's very common today. Rather than actually talking about the topic that's trying to be talked about, you go, hey, look, a distraction, and try and run away from the idea at that point. And it happens in politics, it happens in magic, it happens basically everywhere. It's very frustrating and annoying. Whataboutism is an actual term. It is used very heavily in all forms of media. All forms of news media. You'll see news outlets do it constantly to downplay things that they don't want to talk about. It's debate pocket sand. That is such a debate pocket sand. The only old Rusty Shackleford. All right, that's great. I'm gonna use that in the future when we have to make analogies for whataboutism in the future. It's debate pocket sand. That is great. Talk about like the actual working of the tournament. The actual working of the tournament were like just the awkward challenging thing and then smash.gg. Like in a perfect world, all of the tournament automation stuff is going to get built into Arena eventually. This is my Zulaport Cutthroat. There are many like him, but this one is mine. I mean, it was less awkward than paper tournaments. The Smash.gg was less awkward than a paper tournament. I agree with that. I agree with that assessment. Yeah, I guess I should technically tap this land, so I leave 2 of each of my duels up here. Well, my opponent doesn't have threats, but I don't have spells, you know? This is just the great Magic the Gathering story. When does whataboutism argument stop being a deflection about a conversation about polarizing problems? I agree if you have a problem, you should address its bad, but I do not think that should be something that we devote brain power to, because I believe, I don't understand what your sentence is saying there. Maybe it's just because I'm skimming it. Oh, be about prioritization. It's almost always about distraction. There is almost always a bigger and worse thing that you could be talking about. You can use whataboutism to stop talking about effectively anything. It's all deflection. You can always make an argument that something's less important or that there's more important things. That's the whole point of talking about it. It's all a deflection. Niv with the tree fitting. Everything is better than work. I have been to a GP where work crashes. You know, so fun story. I just, you know, in my piles of hubris, when the first time I went to a tournament where Whir crashed, I was just like, you know what? Maybe it's really complicated to make functional pairing software, and this is a difficult task, and that's why it's crashing. In 3 days, I wrote functional pairing software in Python. Took me 3 days. Three days. And I wasn't even working on it constantly for 3 days. It was like 3 evenings after my grad classes. I like stayed up late watching TV, typing on my laptop, and had like functional pairing software that could pair like a 5,000 player tournament on my netbook processor in like 30 seconds. It's just like, oh, this is so easy. This is so easy. So okay, so let me talk about what I'm doing here and why. I didn't go for 3 here because if they stubborn denial me for 1, I then can't cast the Viscera Seer. This is for the 4-color Dino Brew. Sounds good, Alkaloid. And thank you for using the charity hashtag. I appreciate it. And thank you for linking the deck list as well. You'd be surprised how many people, after I send them the email saying, please link the deck list in the message, don't link the deck list. Would I take Bridgevine as a donation list? Yeah, probably. I'm not taking any new modern donation decks at $10 donations, though, until after the holidays, because I don't want the queue to balloon up too much while I'm off a little bit by the holidays. No, that's all of Twitch. That number is all of Twitch. I don't, again, just like as far as deck, would you play, would you won't play, use the form. Just be aware that anything you submit for like probably less than like $30 before the holidays is gonna get a, hey, I'm waiting till after the holidays to take more stuff. What do you think of playing cards like Nihil Spellbomb and main decks like Rockin' Jund? Sure. The floor is high on them. There's probably worse cards you could put in your main deck. You could be registering Dark Confidant instead. Nihil Spellbomb's better than Dark Confidant. It is an incredibly low bar. You're not wrong. For any of you that are fans of Standard, my article just went up on Cool Stuff Inc. talking about Esper Amulet in Standard. I've got some Viscera Seers, chat. I've got some Viscera Seers. Oh, Isha, I mailed the Elves deck out yesterday, by the way. Thank you again for the loan. It should be there. It should be to you by Friday. Good morning, Max. Hope your break's off to a good start. Are you on break yet? December 19th. I think most are on breaks by now. All right. Target player discards a Stubborn Denial. That can stay on top of my deck. Hopefully they only have one. They did discard a stub with a Faithless Looting earlier, which feels like they likely have another. I think I'm going to attack them to 3 here. These are my 1/1s. Whoa! They tapped off their blue land. I repeat, this is not a drill. They have tapped off their blue land. Poppy with like 1 Blood Artist, please. Oh, friendo. Friendo has died, chat. Our friendo has died. Death to the enemy. Save targets, yes, please. We might be rallying back into a 3-2, chat. You could say we're gonna rally this league back. So they go to 3. They have another removal spell here. Yeah, got him. On the scoreboard. All right, I'm gonna run and fill my water bottle back up really quick. I'll be right back. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere, folks. All right, onward, upward, backward, forward. Man, there's some real good quotes in there. So far, we can conclude that nothing has been... That's true. At a minimum, this deck is as good as humans, because the worst this deck can do in this league is 1 and 3. Slow and steady. Man, I don't know how I did this before I had the standing desk. It's such a good upgrade. Has anyone told you how awesome Amulet Turtle is in Best of One? I'm sure it's fantastic there. Just remind people of how important sideboards are. Don't you wish we had a ladder instead of leagues? 300%. Sure. Listen, chat, you don't register Birds of Paradise to mulligan hands that cast it on turn 1, okay? That's true. I did have kids running around before. This was probably... Oh, yeah, I guess the kids would, like, run... God. Of course this is game 1. Of course this is game 1. Excellent. I have 2 1-mana 1/1s in my hand. That's true. If I, like, play Voice of Resurgence next turn, they might just spew the spell bomb, which would be great. Scavenging Ooze. I need a witch hunt. Well, the good news is this is missing. The bad news is the jig is up and they know the spell bomb's gonna be good. That's true. To be fair, Voice of Resurgence is close here. Yeah, Max, if you have good internet and you're on a desktop computer and streamers have low latency mode enabled, it's incredibly low. Usually sub 5 seconds. Wow, that's aggressive. They must be missing their land tier, right? I can't. Wow, that's like seeing. Or they have another spell bomb. Maybe they have Scavenging Ooze. Blowing the spell bomb when you see double Stitcher Supplier is like pretty aggressive. Yeah, magic sets only rotate once per year, so all the sets that are legal and standard right now will be legal until October 2019. Man, I wonder if I can hit 40,000 Twitch followers by the end of the year. It's probably going to be close. I'm at 39.6 right now. I'm not gonna do... No, I guess I'm gonna stream a lot the week between Christmas and New Year's. Maybe we can cross the 40K mark. You pushed him off a cliff. You're a monster. Yeah, they have another one. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I'm planning to stream on Christmas, but I'm taking Christmas Eve off and the couple of days before. And I have to take New Year's Eve off because Christy has to work, but I'm going to be streaming New Year's Day. Although I guess I could stream in the evening on New Year's Eve. Wow, again? Okay, deal. Do you have, like, how many spell bombs are in your main deck, opponent? I'm genuinely concerned for my well-being. Look, this is in America, you don't stop eating when you're not hungry. You stop eating when you hate yourself. Come on now. Unless you live in one of those other countries, then you do you. But in America, that's how we do things. You start eating when you hate yourself? You know. When I grow up, I want to be American. Careful what you wish for, okay? This matchup's probably not terrible for us. Although they do have 2 main deck spell bombs, so, you know, like, could go either way there. Okay. No, I have no idea. Right, goalie? All right. Supply my graveyard, baby. My wife won't let me get a Costco membership. I feel like she's holding me back from the American dream. Food in bulk. Food in bulk. Maybe I'm supposed to play double voice here. Yeah, I'm probably supposed to play double voice there. My Stitch, this card is just so medium. I don't know if I'm a fan of this card. We've been pretty unfortunate with it today too, though, so. Yeah, we've been double Collected Company, Eternal Witness, just like only hit one creature, wasn't the one we were looking for, binned a bunch of good spells. So like now we're gonna untap and draw a land after binning a bunch of good spells. It's just like the floor on this card is just so low when it doesn't work. Just like a 1/1 for 1 is not a particularly modern playable card, right? That's basically what it comes down to. Assuming half the deck is creatures at any given time, a complete Stitcher miss is 12.5%. That's actually really high. Like, over 1 in 10 is really high. Do 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 do. Oh, I should have played voice first, right? I was just so excited that I drew that. I also should have fetched first, because if I go to fetch and then is this a concession lockup? Maybe. The tournament yesterday was awesome. I hope the tournament that I experienced yesterday is the future of competitive Magic. Because if the tournament I played yesterday is the future of what competitive Magic's going to be, I'll be playing more competitive Magic again. Far more than I thought I was going to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, those are they're dead. Yeah, the challenge system needs to be reworked. Obviously, so we can have actual best of 3. But other than that, it was very, very, very reasonable tournament. This is definitely an Evolutionary Leap matchup, right? Just gonna trim 2 of these poopy Stitcher Suppliers. Actually, I'm gonna trim a Rally. They have a bunch of, or Return to the Ranks, they have a bunch of main deck graveyard hate. Probably have more out of the board. Would it be worth splashing green in your Boros aggro for March? No, Nivik. You don't want to make the mana worse, and that card's not really super aggressive. I think if you want to play March with Heroic Reinforcements, it's really good, but I recommend starting with the Naya tokens deck rather than trying to pull up in the... I wonder if anyone got tilted for getting a great hand and then having to concede it away. Yeah, I did that a couple of times. Happened to me a couple of times. You think at this point anybody pushing to keep competitive Magic is either A, an investor, B, blind to change, or C, a cheater? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I think scared of change is a big thing. I'm gonna keep this. Their deck is full of discard spells. This hand obviously needs a second land, and thankfully I'm a professional. But like, I think this hand is good enough to win if we draw 2 to 3 lands. Yeah, Leap's very good in this matchup. God, I am just a wizard, chat. Me too, CNB. Competing in tournaments from home is fantabulous. Fantastical. I don't think that's guaranteed true, Gabriel Paints. In fact, I would bet money that in a 5 to 10 year at most range, if digital Magic is anywhere near as successful in terms of the event viewer compared to paper Magic that it could be, I think we'll see all of the Pro Tour level events move to Arena. Where obviously things like SCG are still going to be paper, because like SCG makes their money off of paper tournaments, but I definitely think for WotC specific high level play, they're going to move to Arena because it's just more accessible and more engageable. You could also, like, they have Hearthstone tournaments, like the DreamHack Grand Prix are Hearthstone events where you go play Hearthstone in person. Did they hit a discard spell? Or they have a fatal push? They could like push this plus eat my thing. Pro Tours on Arena will be amazing. Just the animations will make things more hype. I agree completely, Gorgia. Thanks for the 20 months. Welcome back. Honestly, I think if Grand Prix are going to continue to be successful, in the long term, they probably need to shift to being Magic festivals more than Magic tournaments more than anything. So, that's also an opinion that I hold. It's turned out really good. We did shill this league already, right, Kat? Like to keep them to 1 to league. Yeah, I agree. I think the rebranding to Magic Fest is going to eventually move away from the main event being the primary attraction on the weekend. And like, just so I understand what's going on, Grand Prix don't award pro points next year, right? Like, that's just not a thing. Pro points just don't exist, right? And they're gonna announce some way to qualify for the Mythic, for the MPL 32 next year. Like at some point this year, I guess. Yeah, they are basically just PTQs that pay cash. That is exactly correct. They qualify you for the Mythic Championships, Gengar. They 100% qualify you for the Mythic Championships. And that's what GP should be. They should try and be more appealing to regular players. Great. Knock you down to 11. In the MCM series in Europe, Legacy and Vintage don't grant Planeswalker points anymore. Yikes. That's because WotC doesn't want you to play those formats. That's like, people always talk about the legality. People always talk about the legality of removing the reserve list, and the legality of removing the reserve list has nothing to do with it. They just don't want you playing Legacy and Vintage, so they have no interest in removing the reserve list. They don't want you playing those formats. I have played 0 competitive matches on Arena. Competitive. I played 0 ranked matches on Arena. That's the best way to articulate it. All of the 4-2s made top 16. 2 4-2s made top 8. Yeah, they're just, I agree. They're just trying to let them die out naturally. Man, this Blood Artist into this Evolutionary Leap is gonna be real good. Yeah, top 16 was $250 cash. Yeah, when the ranked ladder is best of 3, I'll probably only play the best of 3 ranked ladder. Am I about to get Wrath of Godded? I think I'm about to get Wrath of God. I think this attack means I'm about to get Wrath of Godded. How did people draw in the tournament yesterday? The rounds were timed. No, they haven't announced anything about best of 3. We're just hoping against hope that it's coming at some point. So for reference, the event yesterday was only a 10K prize pool, but it was a free tournament that only had 45 players in it. So the tournament that I played in yesterday was actually better expected value than the SCG Invitational that I flew to play in. Yeah, there were a couple unintentional draws. Because there's only 8 players that can be in the top 8, so it comes down to tiebreakers who gets into top 8 and who doesn't. Yeah, Raynette and Nassif drew, and there was at least one other draw. Hey, Genrand, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Please keep in mind to never insult other content creators in my channel, especially if you're not being specific. There's a difference between being constructive and just being rude. If you are the latter, you're going to take a 10-minute break. There was a technicality issue that occurred that caused apparently another game to be played off stream, where the winner of the event was changed off stream, which is incredibly awkward. Again, to call a spade, that's incredibly awkward. As someone who really loved yesterday's tournament and was glad it happened, that part of it was awkward. It didn't give him some random advantage. I guess technically people are looking at a deck list that was different. Sure, I accept. I am wrong, and it gave him a minor advantage. Yeah. Yeah, the registration for the tournament was awkward and weird because it was being run through this website smash.gg. For context, the decklist submission process for yesterday's tournament was literally, but no, he didn't change his deck list to make, you're right, the change made his deck list better against mono blue, but he didn't randomly change his deck list for that matchup specifically. He played that different list through the entire tournament and thought he had updated it, but didn't. He made a mistake. Sure, but the reason why it's weird is he won 2 games in the finals. In a tournament, you don't change an event result. You don't change a match result like that. You don't change a match. He won 2 games, right? Like, he won on camera, he won 2 games. So, like, in a tournament, he'd win the match. And again, it's not like he changed something to make a matchup better. Yeah, so like, and again, here's the awkward part again. The smash.gg site for decklist, we literally uploaded PNG images for decklist submissions. And there was no requirements like it has to be in this format. So like, there were people who uploaded text lists. There were people who screenshotted actual pictures of cards. There were people who submitted deck lists in non-English languages. It was a giant mess. And again, that's just it's an early thing. I don't really directly blame them because they're just figuring this out and Arena doesn't officially support tournaments like this. But it feels really weird to me to give a game loss for something like that, given how awkward the submission process and things like that were. Yeah, Arena exports to text though, and it didn't support text deck lists. It supported picture deck lists. It's not an application of the strict rules though. You can't say we're applying the strict rules here, but we're not gonna apply the strict rules in these other places. Because there were a lot of other things in the tournament that weren't the strict rules of paper tournament magic. I don't know. I don't care at the end of the day. If the players are happy, it was all free money. I just think it's this incredibly awkward thing it's just an awkward end to an otherwise great event. And I don't want to complain about it because the event was great and it's fine, but it's just weird to say, well, this player won this other match off stream. It's just awkward. The whole thing is just fucking awkward. All right, well, that's super lethal. This is we were talking about like how did this deck 5-0. This is probably how this deck 5-0'd. It just like played against a bunch of fair decks and demolished them because this person had main deck Nile spell bombs and we 2-0'd them. All right, onward, upward, backward, forward. Moving on up. Slow and steady. Yeah, the casting was really well done. To focus on the positive, the casting was really well done. The fact that the casters had access to do coverage of literally every match, so every time a match ended and they finished their post-match breakdown, they weren't like, well, let's go to a commercial break. They were like, let's pull up another match. Just go, there's a thread on Reddit somewhere about it. Why Pilgrim over Noble in this deck? Because you want to attack for one. You want to get in your chip shots. Man, I have modern staple Voice of Resurgence in my hand, which sounds quite excellent. Yeah, we've got modern staple Voice of Resurgence, and the card our deck is named after, chat. Can't lose. And by that I mean there's zero chance we're about to win this game. Let's get some Stony Silences in our deck. Settle's probably pretty good here too, actually. I think I actually trim a couple of rallies here. I don't want to bring my creature count down too much lower than 30. We're gonna crush them. It's really weird to me how accepting the Magic community is in so many ways, while how much backlash and feedback the ingrained players have given towards people in other communities coming into Magic. Like, in a lot of ways, the Magic community is very progressive and accepting of people who often don't have very welcoming communities in other parts of, like, modern society. Like, the Magic community as a whole is very accepting, and that's awesome. And it's so weird to me that they're not when there's people coming in from other games that could, like, make Magic bigger. It's such a weird thing to me. The advantage to Settle the Wreckage is it doesn't kill my own board. Also, Settle the Wreckage in a Collected Company deck is kind of neat, because Settle the Wreckage and Collected Company are both passed with 4 mana up, so they don't necessarily know that you're playing Settle, because you could just have Coco. Yes, there's a lot of that. They're not a Magic player. They didn't stream Magic online. They're not a real Magic streamer. They're just one of those arena players, or they're a Hearthstone streamer. Like, come on now. All of it is just very annoying and nonsense. I love that there's still people online that are, like, dying on the hill of Magic Arena isn't for competitive play after they announced the championship. Humans got dumpstered. We played against Ancient Stirrings a whole bunch of times and just died. So here's the thing, Duo. If you are a good content creator, you should want other content creators to come into your community, because they're going to bring more eyes with them. If you're a bad content creator, you shouldn't want people from other communities to come into your community, because then those people are going to eclipse you, because they're likely making good content if they're big in another community. I like to think I'm kind of good at what I do, so I'm excited for more people to come in. And you know what? If other big names come in and my content starts to fall off because they're doing well, I probably need to work and make my stuff better, not complain that other people are coming in. That's probably the solution, is making my stuff better, not complaining that other people from the outside are coming in and getting attention. Ooh, that's a tough one, because that's unblockable. We're dead in 3. Yeah, I thought it was awesome that not only did we have a lot of women streamers yesterday, but we also had people with non-English streams streaming as well, which we tend to have a little bit of a lack of in the Magic community. There was a good range of diversity in most directions yesterday from the people. I also thought the Twitch, who they offered invitations to, they did a great job of offering invitations to people who are like bigger names, but they also did a good job of sending invitations to just the smaller dedicated Magic streamers, like people that are just like constantly streaming Magic. So I think in that aspect, they had a good selection there as well. This might be a game that Stony Silence doesn't win us. How long were they contacted before participating? It was a very short turnaround. They contacted us, I think at SCGCon actually. So it was like just earlier this month. It was a couple of weeks at most. Settle's a good one to dig for, that's true. That is one of our outs here. Oh, am I dead this turn? This is 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not dead this turn, but I do have to hit settle next turn, so I'm gonna have to dig deep. Oh, Stony, we're super dead. We're super fine, sorry. I have one more turn then. Forgot about Stony. Good job, good job. I know how my Magic cards work. Shh. Listen, Chad, I'm a real Magic streamer. I've streamed Magic online. I know how Stony Silence works. I don't know how Stony Silence works. We'll figure it out eventually, though. We'll figure it out eventually. So I don't play Magic though. I'm an edutainer. In fact, speaking from experience, just playing good Magic doesn't get you paid. Like there are a number of streamers who are much better at playing Magic than I am, who have less viewers than I do. Oh, I should have held priority. Edutainer. I am an edutainer. Thank you very much. Rally the Ancestors also prevents me from dying, right? Because I can rally back the Knights of Autumn and gain 8. Yeah, there needs to be a mix of the two. Like Twitch isn't just about education, right? Like what I do here is I teach a little bit of Magic too, but like, you know, I'm funny, I'm obnoxious, get a little bit of bobbing around. There's a lot of community engagement. I'm very good at interacting with my chat. Just bought $20 worth of packs so I could make the Primal Amulets for the deck on Arena. Not only did I get 3 rare wild cards, but I just cold opened 2 amulets. Nice. That's always the best. I needed another Mythic wild card for a deck submission, and I bought 6 packs, and I opened the Mythic and a Mythic wild card, and I was just like, cash money. Go ahead and sack this. So this is it. I have to dig deep here. There has to be a. Am I supposed to fetch here? Yeah, I'm dead to the same things, fetch or not. So I'm gonna go ahead and fetch here. Get that valuable deck thinning done. Does this let me live for a turn? Oh, I did scry a couple to the bottom. Yeah, it's bad, whatever. So I'm taking 4 next turn. I can gain 4. Yeah, I keep this. I keep this because it makes Rally a better draw. So like now if I find Rally, I can probably kill them with it. And this gives me more looks, right? This, because I fetched and kept this though, this does mean I'm gonna die to a Blink Moth Nexus off the top. Because Blink Moth lets them deal 5. No, that's not true, because I can gain 4. Yeah, I'm fine either way. Hey, Silifurian, thank you for the 14 months. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. So we attack for 4 here. So I get, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I get 6 looks here. Unless you are seeing a significant number of cards, deck thinning is irrelevant. So looking for a Rally or a Settle the Wreckage. Rally wins us the game at this point, I think. So that's probably the better one to find. I have 2 of each of these cards. All right. So that was the worst of the 2. And it's worth noting, I boarded out 2 copies of Rally for 2 copies of Settle. I think that's still correct in the abstract, but it definitely isn't working out fantastically here. Oh, jeez. I don't know if it is right, but boy, golly, does it feel right. Golly, does it just feels right, chat. It just in my heart of hearts, it feels delicious. All right. What do I get here? I think it's Eternal Witness. Or I think it's Elvish Visionary, sorry. This gives me a bunch of looks at a Rally for next turn. Cause like I bought him like 5 or 6 cards, right? Cause I want to draw a card, Burgle, because if I find Rally, they're dead. Like, I need to kill them before they draw Galvanic Blast. I'm just gonna dig deep. Oh, we're probably dead next turn. I guess if I'd have waited to play the Blood Artist, I could have gotten out of Galvanic Blast range for single blast. Instead of me telling you why you're wrong, you should always tell me why you're right. So if you disagree with something I did, don't say, hey, Jeff, justify your choices to me. Say, I don't think that was right, and this is why I would do something differently. Why is it a little rushed? Explain to me. Engage in a conversation. Don't just tell me I'm wrong. Help me learn. Slooey! Thank you for the 6 months. Welcome back. All right, we're dead on board. Oh, we're not dead on board because Steel Overseer can't activate. So there are like 6 cards on the bottom, or 6 or 7 cards in the bottom of my deck right now that we know aren't Rally the Ancestors. What is getting the Knight do? Because I'm expecting Experimental Frenzy? I mean, to be fair, Innocent Smith, Frenzy could have been any payoff to be good enough, right? Like, I'm gonna cast this and like put 2 rallies in the bottom of my deck, just like cry silently. Hey, Jang, thank you for the 12-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Well, this means I'm not dead on board again. I knight thee, Defender of the Realm. Thank you for the 12 months of support. Yeah, I really wish on Arena you can click on your deck and it tracks the derived information for you, so you can see how many cards are on the bottom of your deck. Hank, if you have 4 Ornithopters, they should form Ornithopter Voltron, like a 2/4 or something. Stop it, Burgle. That would be dead. Alright, so there's 1 rally in like 10 cards or so here, and I get 4 scries. You can't say I'm gonna look at them in paper, but you could be writing them down in paper. So what Arena does is Arena automatically tracks any information for you that you could be tracking with a pen and paper, which just makes sense, right? There's no reason for the computer to make a person memorize things that they could otherwise be writing down, right? All right. I guess we shouldn't have boarded out 2 rallies for 2 Settle the Wreckages. I guess we shouldn't have boarded. I guess we shouldn't have boarded that out. Can you just Galv Blast me already? Can I just like please get Galv Blasted? Please kill me! Yeah, I said I was cutting 2 rallies for non-creature spells. Well, I mean, like, so they kind of need to over-attack because I could have a Collected Company. Like, if I have a... Yeah, the Signal Pest means they probably attack with everything because Collected Company, because they still have lethal next turn. I have no idea why they would board out Blast against us. If they have Blast in their 75, it's definitely in their deck right now. Alright. So I think we're like 20% or so to draw our thing next turn. I don't actually know at this point. Draw, land, and die. That's our plan. It's not a good plan, but it's the plan we're going with. Yeah, 1/1s for 1. It's probably the next card. I can only assume it's the next card. Wow. Wow, it was way down there. Woof. I don't know. I think boarding out Rally was right. Maybe I'm just supposed to cut more Stitcher Suppliers. Maybe I'm just supposed to cut more Stitcher Suppliers. Just go down to like 28 creatures. That song is stuck in my head now, chat. Look what you did. Yeah, Stitcher Suppliers probably shouldn't be in this deck. It's been as bad in this deck as it is in Standard. It should probably just be, like Satyr Wayfinder or, it probably should just be Satyr Wayfinder. Satyr Wayfinder, like, isn't gonna hit land super often with only 19 lands in the deck, but, like, at least it occasionally does something. What's going on, Inner? Pizza's good. If you had a primer for starting a stream on your website at one point... Oh, I never had one of those, Christus. The primer is literally download Streamlabs OBS and, like, start clicking on things. Good games, Wizzleby. I was scrying for a Rally the Ancestors. We had 2 copies in our deck and just couldn't find one. You went to a pizzeria and you got a salad? That's not American. I think a lot of people are intimidated by, like, starting to stream, but, like, to give you Streamception here, no, it's really tough to see on Streamception. Like, you literally just, like, point and click and, like, drag and resize the elements around. Like, if you can make a Word document, you can make a scene in OBS. It's very straightforward. No, was I not queuing a match? I was like, why isn't my match popping? I forgot to click play, apparently. I think it just, like, seems like it should be intimidating, so a lot of people just don't try it. But yeah, OBS makes it super easy. And, like, when a lot of other people, the one thing new streamers always ask about a lot is, like, overlay stuff. And it's like, I don't even really like having a lot of overlay stuff on stream. Like, the only reason I have this, like, blocked out here is because Magic Online has so much dead space anyways. Like, on Magic Arena and other real video games, you just give the video game all the space, and then you put, like, your webcam and other small elements over otherwise dead space. Yes, the technical part is easy. The having interesting content part is hard. Agree. Dealing with audio issues. I don't know. Like, if you have reasonable They have reasonable audio equipment, usually don't have audio issues. OBS is free and open source. Schedules are important too. I agree with that. Showing up every day. Gotta be there. Gotta be there to do the gerb. The gerb and the gerb and the gerb. I think my schedule is gonna change slightly after the holidays. I think I'm gonna do slightly later in the day. I think I'm gonna do like 10 a.m. to like 5 p.m. as opposed to like the like 8:30 to 3 that I've been doing. Give me time to like go to the gym in the morning. I'm more motivated to go to the gym in the morning than I am in the evening. Is it worth it to get a master/PhD? What something is worth is different to each individual person. Yeah, the Blue Yeti microphone's great. That's what I use. I mean, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. still pretty EU friendly, right? Like you're plus 6 hours ahead of me, so that starts at 4 p.m. in the EU. Are your viewers higher later in the day? They are a little bit. That was my wonderful shuffling deck, protected by none other than my BCW Elite Guard sleeves there while we were waiting for the match to pop. Shuffling deck, it's like a fidget spinner for Magic players. I don't know what 8 a.m. means. I was live at 7:30 this morning. You could technically play a game of Magic with that stack of cards. It is a casual green-red madness deck. There is an F&M promo Fiery Temper in there. It's foil and everything. All right, so rally, Abzan rally. What was going on here? So my big takeaway, okay, so again, this was a build-around submission, and I did my build-around submissions like listening to my own advice. I rarely start build-arounds from scratch. I often do a lot of Googling and looking for existing deck lists that were successful. The core of this deck was a 5-0 deck list that I pulled, and Stitcher's Supplier was just incredibly disappointing. This card was as bad in that league of Modern as it is consistently in Standard when we play it. And I think probably something like maybe some Satyr Wayfinders if we felt we needed more graveyard enablers, but I don't know, maybe just like having a bunch of cantrip creatures that looks like attacking and blocking inside of combat is good enough. I honestly think it might be. I feel like you might want another sacrifice outlet too. Like I've seen some of these decks play Cartel Aristocrat, the 2/2 sacrifice a creature gains protection from a color, and I don't hate an inclusion of a card like that. I might go up to like a 20th land as well, just like another Horizon Canopy. Like we stumbled on land a few times, and only having 19 lands is going to happen pretty consistently. All right, so what do we do? We've got one more deck I wanted to get to today. We've got Abzan Loam Pox to wrap things up with. I'm also gonna grab the cards for Landfall aggro, because that one's usually a pretty quick league, just in case the Abzan deck falls on its face. And again, one of the tough parts about streaming Magic Online leagues is that I have to get locked into a league, so I don't necessarily know how long they're going to take. It doesn't have the flexibility that Arena has for making content. Have a good one, Anner. All right, I gotta grab cards for my sponsor really quick here, though, because I only get cards for 2 decks at a time. So in just a moment, we'll be diving into some matches here with not this deck, but this one. Let me update the stream decker for people that want to see it up close. This is a sweet one. Hakan, modern staple Hakan is a card after many people's hearts. You know, when this deck gets to play Magic, it's pretty good. It definitely can have a harder time in some matchups though, because it's curve. It's got a lot of clunk in it. Like most modern decks people are fans of, this one's kind of clunky at times. I mean, no, I probably wouldn't play Revelark in Kiki Chord. I think Kiki Chord has enough clunk in it, and the format is really brutal. Revelark also was the way you would beat sweepers, but the primary sweeper that gets played these days is Terminus, which makes Revelark much, much worse as well, because your creatures don't end up in your graveyard. We didn't have Trophy in this deck last time we played it, which was nice, or Knight of Autumn, which are both great ways to fight through graveyard hate, so... I should get those last couple heading to the YouTubes.